delivering affordable housing and indeed of delivering housing altogether. You can play about with the money, you can play about with the resources, but unless you actually grasp the nettle of transforming the planning system, none of it will happen. And that transformation fundamentally needs to move away from the old target-based system where numbers of houses were dictated either from Whitehall or from regional government. It needs to move away from that because it hasn't worked and give the power to local councils and to local people who know what houses need to be built where, when and in how many numbers.
The issue of where and how many, of course, is absolutely at the heart of so many of these disputes, isn't it?
Well, local councils already know how many houses. They submitted that as their initial assessment of how many houses they needed when the whole regional spatial strategy process started. Just so the government didn't believe them and didn't want to believe them. But those figures will form a useful baseline, which I'm sure councils will want to return to in order to provide a way forward. They will, of course, want to revise them. But the idea that councils don't take responsibility for housing, haven't taken responsibility for housing, is utter nonsense. They have figures there. They're enthusiastic for it. They're up for the challenge of it. And we believe that providing incentives, rather than the stick of endless targets, will be the best way of encouraging them to take that forward and to engage with their local people in order to make it happen.
And how do you envisage, how would a Conservative government envisage engaging local people? You spoke about local housing trusts, for instance.
Well, it's not the job of central government to engage with local people about where their houses should go. It's the job of local government, of their local planning authority to do that. That's what localism is all about. But it is right that it is pushed down to neighbourhood areas, whether that's the local ward, the local village, however you want to describe that as being best for your area. Those are the areas that need to be engaged with by their local councillors in order to come up with a local plan that reflects the need of the local area in terms of the housing and other development that needs to take place, and crucially, which the local planning authority can then go out and get the buy-in of all the local people. But if it's built from the bottom up, people have already got a stake in it. They've already participated in the design of it, not just being handed it and said yes or no. This is them actually taking it and saying, we have a blank piece of paper here, what do we need, how are we going to do it, where is the best place for it?